Good morning, it's Steven with Off-Road Revival. Today's episode, we've got this 2004 Grizzly 660 in the shop. We've already tore it down some. We've actually already diagnosed and fixed this, but want to walk you through the steps. This unit came in with no spark. After we're going to walk you through the steps to check if you got a Grizzly 660, one of these earlier year models with no spark. The customer also wants an oil change, so I'll show you how to change the oil on one and what else to look for. Make sure that gets put on. Filter probably could use replaced. Just missing some clips on the box there. This is just old hunting camp rig, so we're not going to get too crazy on it. Stay tuned. What you're going to need for this, like I said, we've already diagnosed it, so I'm not going to tear it down all the way, but I am going to show you what the service manual says. But you're going to start, to do this job, you'll need a spark plug socket, wrench, multimeter, and whatever you want to use to test it. I just got this little cheap light. You don't have to have that. You can just pull the plug wire, and just have some, hold it up against the block, turn it over, verify you have no spark. But as you can see, that's going to be your plug wire. You're going to pull that off, remove your plug, and then test for spark. If you have no spark, as you can see, we've installed a new boot cap OEM and a new OEM coil that's up in there, which is not easy to get to. It was actually tested a little bit out of spec. We replaced it. The unit then had fire but still wouldn't run properly. It ended up being the CDI box as well, but we're going to try to help you determine what you want. Step one, this is right from the service manual. You're going to check the fuse, which is located back here underneath your seat. Make sure your main ignition fuse isn't blown. We're going to check your battery, of course, make sure no loose connections or corroded connections. Check your spark plug, obviously make sure. That's what I would start with. Try a new plug. And then your spark gap, whether you got a gap tester, just a cheap light, or just turn it over, just make sure that and then we're going to get into spark plug cap resistance and ignition coil resistance. Other considerations could be, it could be a faulty stop switch here, could be a faulty main key switch, and it could also be your stator or pickup coil. First, you want to check your battery with your multimeter. Everybody, I don't know how to do that. Set the volts, check, make sure you have proper voltage. So right here, it clearly shows you can take the cap off. First, you want to check the cap. The cap unscrews from it. Your cap resistance is going to be right here. So there you go. That's how you do it. Negative lead. See where your positive lead's going. And that's your values you're looking for. Next, you want to check your actual ignition coil. There you go. See where the positive and negative lead's going to. That's where the wire plugs in. That's just on the metal part where your ground goes, and you're looking for this resistance. If all that checks fine, more than likely you don't have bad. But right here, we're going to come down to your AC couplers. These are located right here, and you're going to check exactly how it says in there, ohm it out from these right here on this coupler right here, which if your panel's on, you might have to remove it. Pickup coil resistance. As you can tell, on that plug you got exactly how it's labeled there. On your pickup coil, check the pickup coil right here. You're going to go from the white and red to the white and green, and that's what your resistance should show. White and green, white and red. Clearly says right here, positive lead to white and red terminal, negative lead to white and green terminal, and that should be your resistance right there. And that's on that plug. Moving down to the charger, the stator, to check the stator, it's the same plug showing here, 1 and 2. You're going to go to your red terminal with your positive lead and your negative terminal with your white and blue. And here's going to be what you're looking for. If all those I just told you check good, more than likely it's going to be the CDI box. These are expensive from the factory. There are some aftermarket options through this company. You can find these on Amazon. Don't know if I can get it to focus, but the Amazon search will find that. They're a little better on price. So once we got all that figured out, now we have strong spark, the quad's back running. All we got left to do is an oil change on this unit. Definitely stay tuned. I'm trying to do more filming in the shop. I'm gonna subscribe. I'm gonna be walking through how we do this. The customer's on the way. I don't have time to fully walk through this again. But I am gonna be more or less going through step by step, try to show you guys how you could diagnose some of your own issues, maybe help you out, maybe avoid having to go to a shop on some of these aggravating deals. But yeah, here in a second, we'll show you how to do an oil change on this. Pretty straightforward. Stand by, I'm gonna get everything ready. All right, we're about to knock this oil change out. I got this little Can-Am Renegade 70 tore down on the lift table. I don't feel like moving it just for an oil change, so we're gonna do this on the floor here. What you're gonna need is a 5GH oil filter, Yamaha. You'll need some Yamaha 1040. Other alternatives, if you don't have any of this, we've had good success with, Rotella T6. But pretty much either going to be Rotella used here, OEM, or Amsoil, which I got to order some more Amsoil. So we're going to start off. This calls for 2.11 quarts. It's about what we got measured out in there, so it should take care of the rest of that. Oil filter and a 17 millimeter. All right. Your plug's gonna be right there. Come up through your skid plate. Bear with me. Already broke it loose. I'll come right here. We did run the machine, warm it up, and we'll let that drain. Washer is something going on there. I got oil all over my hands. I'm trying not to get my camera. When you drain plug off, guys, it's important to always use a new crush washer. This one Looks like it's been way overdone. You can get these kits on Amazon as well. It helps you. All right, let's see here. All right, let's see if we can get this old one off here. So essentially what I do, if you got one that's just stuck on there, get you some cutters. I just literally tried to cut it there and it popped it right off. As you can tell, that was way overused. Go ahead. Let's see which one. That would be we're gonna put our new crush washer on. All right, she's gonna let her drain for a minute. Crush washer's ready. Let's take this back over here. And your oil filter is gonna be located right there. Really and truly, to get your cup on there, you need to remove this panel. A lot of times I'll just use a pair of channel locks, but let's see, you know, if anybody doesn't have these. Sometimes they're so tight, these little cheap things. I need to get some better ones. They don't work. But let's see real quick. We'll grab a 10, and our impact gun. I need to borrow this extension. I lost my chest mount, but I got a new one coming in tomorrow, so I'll probably bring out some better videos. So I got one more right here. And another. That just opens that up a lot more. Let's see if this thing will get it. Oh yeah. All right. On these Yamaha filters, nice thing is they already come with some grease on them, on the O-ring. Work that around. All right, just hand tight on these guys. I see so many over tightened. I gotta get some better cup. These things are cheesy, but it won't let you over tighten it. That's a good thing about it. All right, we'll clean that oil up with some brake clean. All right. Crush washer is on. Always start these by hand. I'll run it all the way up. And do not over tighten it. You're just tightening it down on the crush washer. That's why it's important to use a new one. Normally about 20 foot-pounds is all it needs. I kind of just, if you're not sure, use a torque wrench, but it doesn't have to be overly tight. All right, new filters on, torqued, drain plugs in, torqued. Just remove that. That's where you fill from. Go ahead with our 2.1 quarts. All right. We'll let that settle for a second. All right, we're gonna spray some brake cleaner in there. Get all that oil up. The filter. Go back. Also gonna hit the skid plate. Let's throw this cover back on. Alrighty. Don't mind my shop, it is a mess. We're still working on some new shelving. We're working on new shelving, trying to get a little more organized, but it's tough. We've had a real busy spring into the summer. We finally got caught up, trying to stay caught up, do more content. And anyhow, let's see where we're at on this oil level right now. We haven't ran the quad yet, so let's just, I just want to see where we're at. I always like to double check. Alright, that should be about perfect once we crank it up and fill the engine, the oil filter. I'm gonna let it run for a second. We'll let it run for a minute, let everything circulate, check it, that'll be it. Some other projects we got coming up soon. Guy brought me 2 Polaris transmissions. I can already tell this one right here has got a hole in it, not good. So we're gonna see this one actually don't have anything in it. Maybe the output shaft. She's running. I mean, it definitely. She's old. Yeah, you can spend a bunch of money on it, clean the carburetor, clean the jets, all new O-rings and gaskets, adjust the valves, decarbonize the engine, run like a damn new one, but we already got a little bit in it just with the parts and the labor to get all that other stuff fixed. It'll get you by for hunting camp, no doubt. Alright. Oh, we're going to let it rest for a second, and then we'll recheck that oil level. She's been resting. Wipe that off. Perfect. Right up at the top. About 2.11 quarts. Alright, that's all we're going to do to this one. She's ready. Coolant level's good. Customer didn't complain about anything else, just it wouldn't start. We're going to call them, let them know it's ready. Come get her. Have fun in the woods this fall and winter.